What's up guys, Damian Keyes here, welcome back to the channel. So timing has always been crucial when it comes to artists releasing music in order to get them up the charts. One thing that you can definitely do with a very good strategy is take a good song but a great release and push it higher into the charts. So labels, managers and artists have always known that the right timing of the release could mean the difference between jumping into that top 10 or potentially jumping into that #1 spot. Timing is everything when it comes to releasing music. But when should you release music? What is the right timing? So today we are going to look at the best timing of the day, the best timing of the week, the best timing of the month, and also the best timing of the year. Let's start with the best day to release music, which traditionally is a Friday. It has been a Friday for several years, but before that wasn't the case. It actually depended on which country you were in as to which day you would release music. For example, in the UK and France, it would tend to be a Monday. US, Canada, Tuesday. Australia, Germany, Friday. But in 2015, July the 10th to be precise, everything changed to a global music release day, and that became a Friday because the music world's becoming a more global place and everything is going online, which means it's not the same to have a release in one country. You need a worldwide release. So everyone needed to get on the same page. And so now everyone releases on a Friday because that was recommended by the IFPI, the International Federation of the Phonographic Industry. Oof, what a mouthful. And they represent over 1,300 labels. And they said, hey, let's all get together and have one release date, which is now a Friday. But does that mean you need to release on a Friday? No, it absolutely doesn't. It means you can release on whatever day you choose. However, one thing you've got to be careful of is because this is now a global release day, it means anyone who's going to be promoting your music, like playlists or blogs, etc., will probably know this and will probably be changing and writing their blogs on a Friday. So let's talk about time. Technically, a release normally comes out for established artists at midnight. Well, 1 minute past midnight on that Friday, because that's the global release. So should you release at 1 minute past midnight? Well, no, I don't think you should. I think if you are an established artist and you have a major fan base all over the world, they are waking up and they are hearing about your new release. Fantastic. But for most of us who have a smaller fan base, it's better that we are doing the promotion and we are in control. So my advice is to set the time to release your music for when you've got up, you've freshed yourself, you are ready to start promoting. For example, you wake up at 8, it goes live at 9 o'clock. That means you have 15 or 16 hours to start promoting that music, as opposed to when you woke up and just said, oh yeah, it's been out for 12 hours, can you go and download it please? That, to me, doesn't really work as well. Okay, so we know Fridays are the best day to release, and usually it's best to release once you've woken up so you can start building some excitement. But what about time of year? If you're going to go on a 4, 5, 6, 7 week release strategy where you're putting music out all of the time, when is the best time of year to release music? Now, this depends on a lot of different things. For example, variables like, are you releasing a ballad? Are you releasing a fast track? Because those two things can make a difference. What about, are you at college or school? Because if you are pushing it to people who are at college when college is broken up, that's not going to help. What about the weather? What about if you can tour or if you're a touring act? Because those things all make a difference to when you should release your music. But taking that aside, let's look at some good and bad months to release music. So we are about to hit October 2020, and October, in theory, is a good month to release music. When you're releasing music, one of the things to look for is distractions. You don't want to be releasing music when people are looking the other way. And October is a decent month. Colleges have started back, people, that means, are going to work, everything is normal, there's not that many national holidays, so October is a good month. Also, leading up to Christmas, you find it gets busier and busier because of Christmas. So if you think about it, it's not just about the music. We talk talk about this all of the time. The music is there to promote something and you are selling something around it. And of course, Christmas is when merch, calendars, everything else that people can buy because they love that artist and they love the music. So it starts to get busier from October into November and December. So whilst October is a good month, November at the start is good, but as time goes by into November, it gets to be worse in a release. So the first couple of weeks of November, very, very good. But don't forget, Thanksgiving in America is right at the end of November. So that last week of November going into December, not such a good week to release because everyone's distracted, everyone's doing family things. Then you get into December. Now, December is not a good month to release music unless you're releasing a Christmas song, and then that's the best time to release music, obviously, if you're releasing a Christmas song. But if you're not, there's a lot of distraction. People are thinking about Christmas, they're thinking about family, lots of people are going away, they're thinking about who's coming over for Christmas dinner. Even though it's probably a few weeks until Christmas, I would avoid December unless there is a good reason. This is a national holiday and everybody is distracted. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, all that's out of the way and we hit January. New year, new me. And let's face it, in 2021, we'll all be thinking the same thing. Thank God that year's out of the way. Let's hope this one's better. And because of that, people are going to be excited for some new music. They're going to be excited for new everything. So all of those New Year's resolutions kicked in. People are feeling enthused. They're going to the gym. They're doing more things. And now is a very good time for you to release music. But I will caveat that by saying it does depend on what sort of music you are releasing because everyone's energized, they're excited for this new year. And a ballad might not be the right time. We've just done that in winter and in Christmas. So in January, it's all about up-tempo, fast music. It's all about, I can do this, it's gonna be a great year. Let's get energized. That's the music you wanna be putting out in January, and that spills then across into February as well. February, another great month to release music. People are still feeling energized and there's a lot of opportunities in February because January, we've just come off the back of New Year. Everyone's about thinking and starting their New Year's resolutions. By February, they're up and running. They've started that new blog. They've started that new podcast. They've got all the best intentions and you can start to slot into these opportunities. So February is a very, very good month to release music. Then you've got March. Now, March isn't a terrible month to release music. However, you do have the biggest music industry festival in the entire world in South by Southwest. So there is a lot of new music being released and all of the music industry all go to one place at one time. So it's something to be aware of. It won't affect most people releasing music, but there is something happening and there is a distraction. So therefore, it is something to be aware of in March. Then out of the noisy period in March, we're going into April, another good month to release music. And the reason for this is because people are now starting to think about festivals. They're thinking about going to festivals. And so your music being out at this point is a really good flag in the ground to say, hey, we're going to be out doing the gigs as well. We're going to be on tour over the summer. So now is the time to start figuring out where we're going to play. April, a good month. Then we go into May. Now, May is a good month for releasing music because we're about to go into the summer months, which means touring, festivals, sun, depending on what country you're living in. But this is a very important part of it. When you're releasing music, you need to look at the distractions, you need to look at the consumption habits of people in the areas that you want to release music. Over in the UK and parts of the US, in the summer, we tend to go on holidays, which means we might be slightly distracted. We might be down the beach. We might be out going for walks because the sun is shining. So therefore, the music that you release needs to reflect that. And whilst it is a good time to release music because you can promote it, there are a lot of distractions at the same time. And then you've got September where schools and colleges start back, so there are some distractions, but overall a decent month to release music. As you can see, what we're looking at when we're looking at times to release music is we're looking at distractions. We're looking at a clear run. Where can we get our music out there? Well, we haven't got things like a national holiday, which you should avoid unless you are doing a song or a promotion around that national holiday. Where have I got a clear run? run. I don't want other acts jumping on our party. So all of a sudden we're releasing music and there's 5 other bands in our town or in our city that are releasing music in the same genre. I also don't want to be clashing with big releases where I'm going to get lost in the noise. I'm looking for a nice clear run. Now, if you're releasing music every 6 weeks, for example, then you have to get these in the diary now. You have to start looking at where the holidays are. You have to start looking at where you can start promoting. And so therefore you can find those clear runs. So in summary, hopefully that helps. Your job is to release music on a regular basis, ideally on a Friday, when you've woken up and you're feeling fresh and you're ready to push it. You're also taking into consideration things like weather, holidays, other people's releases, and festivals and things that people are doing within that month of the year. So what I want to know from you is your best release tips. What was the best thing that you've done when it comes to releasing music? Maybe you took a gamble and you released on a Monday. Maybe you released on Christmas Day. Tell me something about your best release strategy in the comments below. But otherwise, if you can do me a favor, like, subscribe, more importantly, come and be a part of this community. And if you want to work with me on your career on a day-to-day basis, then you need to check out DK Music Business Academy, because we're doing this every single day and I'm very, very proud of the results we're getting. So thanks for watching and I'll see you guys soon.